the Dark Tournament is still one of the greatest arcs in anime history to me, or greatest tournament arcs, I should say.
It's the best tournament arc, but it's actually when you think about it.
And I think it was probably just me, but for some reason the intro glitched out on me, so it was like extremely late on my end.
Oh, it did for a second too, but then it worked forward.
Well, also, what do you explain your point?
Okay, so the final fight in the Dark Tournament is a 4v4.
Right.
But in the way they had the wins divided, even if Yusuke lost, it would have been a tie.
Wait, okay, I haven't re-seen that fight yet. I'm on the semifinals. I haven't rewatched that whole the final thing.
I'm just gonna tell you the way that the wins are distributed. The final fight literally does not matter. There is nothing that the main villain can do to actually win the tournament.
Okay.
So the stakes come from the pure personal fight and not the tournament W itself.
Okay.
So as a tournament, it's probably the best tournament. But when you look at the stakes, it's not the best tournament.
I think, but I did appreciate that the stakes were low, but they were personal, because I realized you get pretty early on. You realize they even try to justify it. It's honestly, the only thing they lose is even if they don't win the tournament, they still have to fight Tagoro. And just not there.
No, I know, but it's but it's because the way the tournament's set up, it wouldn't have to be a tournament.
Right. It was more it was the best way for Yusuke to get stronger in a short amount of time. But by the time he got to the finals, he didn't really have to be in the tournament. He could have just left.
Man.
Left somewhere else. But it's about being a man.
Dude, when you think about the tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho, man, that was a battle of attrition at the end of the day, man.
Really they were hoeing the team Urameshi though.
Any regular team, do you think more than half of you are gonna make it to the finals, dude? Seriously? Come on.
Bro, I was at the part where the guy was like, "Oh, Team Urameshi just went through a hard ass fight. Now they have to fight again, back to back." I was like, "Oh my god!" And we had 2 players left. It was Yusuke and Kurama, and Kurama had to carry as much as he could so Yusuke could finish the last 2.
I recall that, and I felt so sorry for his second opponent. He was like an ice guy, right? And as soon as he had everything working for him in order to guarantee a win. I gotta say that, audience. They hyped him up as being the mass. There's no greater ice style prodigy than this guy. Added to the fact that Kurama has all these ceiling markings on him, he's basically carrying weights in the form of curse seals at this point. He can't use his spirit energy, and yet he still miraculously pulls out a win.
It's true. It did cost Kurama though. It did cost Kurama.
Man. And what was more sadder, that fight, audience, was the fact that his first opponent literally gave his own life in order to put those last curse seals on him.
Even the Dark Tournament art, the only W Tagoro's team get is bullshit.
He got one where he fought. He did a 4v1.
No, Kurama fell, but the guy died before he fell. They still gave it to the guy because he was standing.
Oh, no, that was corporation interference there, man. They only wanted to make that rule relevant because they wanted Tagoro's side to win because they were betting on him,
No, I understand. I'm saying, but that's Tagoro's team's only win. That's what I'm saying.
No. Tagoro's team. No. Because remember, Tagoro had it was a quick fight, but Tagoro did 1v4 a whole team. He said, "Listen, just all." No. I'm
talking about in the finale. I'm not talking about the tournament.
Okay.
Their one win against Yusuke's team was a fluke.
Yeah.
He had destroyed his guy. Kurobara killed his brother. Kurama just happened to fall, but he killed his opponent. So it's 2-1. So if Tagoro wins, he still doesn't win the tournament. And he loses, it doesn't fucking matter.
Everybody got a cool moment in the tournament. I do appreciate that. I know a lot of people say it's the perfect arc to say this how you make all the side characters relevant all the way up to the final fight. Yeah. But I think one of my favorite moments, I told Austin about this. My favorite moment is when he does the Dragon of the Darkness play for the first time. That shit was so funny. This dude, there's this pyro demon, and he's like, yeah, it's me and you. I'm gonna whoop your ass and your fake eye too, and your eye fake. And he's going off, and I think at one point he does stab here or something, and then he gets up. He's like, yo, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, you're right. This eye is fake, but it gives me exactly what I need. And then he He's like, Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And you see the guy he's fighting, and he just goes, help me. I was like, what the fuck?
I still
the only
remember
thing I hate about Hiei is that while he like a lot of his fights are hard earned and stuff, it always feels like he's bullshitting because we know he has the demon form that makes him 100 times stronger.
It's true. He never used it.
He only used that one time.
Got tired of drawing those fucking eyes.
I guess, yeah.
True. I guess strong black flames is easier to draw on eyes, So
I did like how also the announcer, I liked her whole thing was like, there's like the moment where Kurama couldn't fight anymore, like he was just unconscious, but he was just standing up. And so they tried to cheat him. So the guy comes in, he's like beating on Kurama while he's unconscious. And the girl's and someone's like, stop the match! This isn't right! And then she's like, yeah, you're right. It's not cool when he can't feel the pain. I want to hear him scream. This isn't right. She is committed to the tournament. She's the honor of the tournament.
Dude, she literally memorized the whole rule book. She literally stated that.
Yeah, she got snippy in Botan's face. Botan tried to come at her about some rules and shit. And she said, like, I don't think you know what you're talking about, bitch. Like, I was like, oh my God.
W for the cat lady, audience. W for the cat lady. Yeah.
I think in Kurabara scene where he does the Jordan Poole effect when he's like losing this fight.
Yeah, and look, if the holds are there or Hiei's sister, this man's about to fuck you up.
This man was fighting a fight he couldn't win, and then he heard his girlfriend call him, and he said, "Oh, I can't lose now." Like, yeah, like he got so much. Even the dude was gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck is happening?"
Hey, gotta say this, man. When a man loves a woman,
So. In history, in power history, Kurobara's the first person to have a sword that cuts through dimensions.
It's true.
Okay. Way to go, Kuramaru.
But yeah, I think, bro. So when I get to that actual final fight, maybe I'll have an issue with it. I think it's just because to me, rewatching it, it was very clear the tournament was just a means for Yusuke to go on a fight, and I think that's fine. It was like just a vehicle for Yusuke to get stronger in a quick amount of time. So I think it's fine that it's like at the end of the day, even if Togoro's team loses, Togoro got his fight. I think that's all he really wanted. Like he didn't really care. So
that's true. Yeah, that's a rambling audience, before we go.
But did you know you can watch all of Yu Yu Hakusho on YouTube if you just look up Yu Yu Hakusho full episodes? You'll see a marathon.
Yeah, do it the way that our ancestors did it. You watch every episode in 3 parts on YouTube.
Hey, I used to watch it back when it was in cable, and Lord knows if you missed one episode, well, sucks to be you then. I
guess I found it the worst way possible. My mom got 3 tapes, and I only had 1 tape. It was a VCR tape, and I want you to know it was just the middle of the Dark Tournament. And that's all I knew about Yu Hakusho for the one. I never saw the ending. I never saw the beginning. I didn't see the end of the tournament or the beginning of the tournament. I saw the middle run.
So Cryptid, I'm glad you said that about cable because the video I watched actually shows like the real commercials that played around the time of the show. So I actually had a trip, like a nostalgia trip, listening to some old ass commercials, and one of them was like the Final Fantasy VII commercial for the game, and I was hoping this was a remake because people complain about spoilers. That trailer spoils Aaron's death like straight up.
Fair. People didn't care, but it were old games. It was like old game for so long, you didn't know what was actually important.
That's fair. Because it says that because it says like a hatred that always is and a love that never was. Final Fantasy VII. I was like,
hey, that's a joy. That's a joy about watching something as if it was from that era, man. It's like why I like comic books so much. Like if you read the old comics, you don't just read for the story. You also read for the advertisements of those days.
That's what I hear.
That's like watch an old comic book movie and then like you get like a trailer for like the death of Superman movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey like, kids, wow, bro.
Hey kids, you want to have the ability to jump over a fence? Well, send $3.99 to get these special jumping shoes, which are shoes that
send this in for your cereal.
Oh yeah, the moon shoes, we had those.
Oh yeah.
Oh, these shoes, which literally had springs in the bottom of them.
Yeah, so did the moon shoes.
Yeah, that was
Another thing I learned listening to this, I realized that our trailers are different than they used to be. In our trailers today, there's a lot of talking. In old movie trailers, you didn't get a lot of talking. There was a lot of you saw the action scenes, and there was a music playing, and you got like a couple lines, and it's like, watch the movie.
There was one point in my comic book shop, right, where where the clerk was telling me if Star Wars was coming out today, right, you know dang well they would have said, "I am your father" in that trailer.
Probably. Well, it wasn't
and then people will be like, "Oh, is he talking about Han or Leia or Chewie?" Like,
the theories would have gone off. I think, but like watching those old trailers, it was like a lot of just like the scenes would carry, and they would have 2 lines of dialogue, and they'd say, "Mark Hamill plays Luke Skywalker." It's like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be like things like that.
Sometimes I get whiplash when I'm on TikTok and it's like late at night, and I see an old ad from my childhood, and I'm like, stop. Old. I'm 23.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But
true.
yeah, go watch some early 2000 ads, audience. It's really a trip.
Go watch the early 2000s infomercial. That's where the fun's at.
Oh, speaking of merchandise, I don't know if we were talking about this when we were recording, but yeah, I did check up on the pricing of the shields, Austin, and definitely, John Walker's shield has actually cost more than Sam Wilson's shield. Like, dang!
I told you.
Oh God! Whoa!
Yeah, so when I get them, make a mount, I'm just gonna put it on the wall of my room.
Yeah.
Right now,
like, dang, I'm looking at the shield's like about $350, man, for that exact shield from the MCU. Wow.
Yeah,
Sam Wilson,
exactly the Break the World shield.
Yeah, and a replica of Sam Wilson's shield is like what, still in the low 100 range. I'm like, look at that, audience. That should tell you who people like more at the end of the day between Sam and John. So, all right. But yeah, now that we got all the giggles out of the way, you guys just want to get started?
Yeah.
We actually will wait for them.
Gotcha. Anyway, well, okay, let me get started. So, welcome to Phanatic Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. I'm too tired for an intro. Sorry, move on. Okay.
And you're with me, Jake Tylenol, and I'm here to make a demon pray to God. All right.
Austin.
Yes. Rogue Trader, Ricky Wall here. I'm so absorbed in the Warhammer, bro. I'm not completely zoned out. Go ahead.
Anyways, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and if you're going to Tucson Comic-Con, please go to my panels. Don't make me feel insecure. Please go to my panels. Thank you.
And together we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. And on our Tuesday nights, it's all about the reviews, baby. And we are, it's late, but I'm sure we'll fill out the time. We'll be talking about Ultimate Spider-Man coming back for his monthly visit. And then it's just, we have our usuals. We have Avengers Academy, Bionicle, and, our new
Chaos.
Yes, Christopher Chaos has returned, and our new addition to the regulars so far. We'll see how long I keep it up. My Vampire System, and then we have some new shit. So
like the last boy, audience, you'll get what I mean when I get to it. So perfect.
So yeah, all that said, we have socials. Yes, we do. We have socials. Which? How about you?
Oh, hi. Yes, I can do that. First of all, subscribe to us because I said so. You don't want to be that guy. You can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. Remember, that's a fanatic with a PH because I don't know why they chose to do a PH, but whatever, it's not up to me. If you want to follow just me because you want to see what I'm up to, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of an U. I'm taking a little bit of a break from Twitter, but sometimes I'm around. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do post stuff on there sometimes, and I might post some art tonight. I have not decided yet. Anyways, you can also find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. You can find me on xiaohongshu/redno at Witch of Jotun. When I remember to actually post shit on there, working on it. Sometimes I forget to post things on there. Might be. Anyways, you can support me on Ko-Fi at Witch of Jotunheim if you want to support me financially or whatever's. Yeah, my commissions are open, and go support me at Tucson Comic Con. Please don't make me feel insecure. Labor Day weekend. Okay, bye guys. Just kidding. Yeah, to find Austin and Cryptid in the same spots as I put them last time. And Jake, where you at?
Right now, I'm stepping out the TARDIS and I'm taking a break because, oh my god, this place is horrifying. It used to be such a good home, and now I'm just sad every time I get out of the TARDIS, bro. What?
I believe you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But anyway, to our episode.
Yeah. You have the pick, Jake. I
guess so. We're starting off with me for usually it's a cryptid pick, but now it's my pick. So.
Either me or cryptid that's first, apparently.
Sure. So I had the unfortunate pleasure of using this picture that I don't like. But we're back with My Vampire System. It's like One Piece, but
what am I looking at? What the fuck? Bro, it looks like one of those old Disney movies with fake vampires.
No, it's those ads that you see on Instagram sometimes where they want you to pay a subscription to like watch really badly acted short films.
It's true. Yeah. And so we're back with My Vampire System, which is not a bad short film, although I'm sure it has some. This is after the tournament arc, which wasn't as good as the Dark tournament arc. I don't think even close, but it was still an enjoyable time. Quinn and his friends are back. Look, say that again?
That would make you start rewatching the Dark Tournament?
No, it was because I was at work and bored. I need something to listen to, and then Yu Yu Hakusho's on my mind, and that's what made me listen to it. So. Because also I'm waiting for my Vampire System episodes to reload for me. I'm trying to let them stretch out so I can listen to it for a week. But yeah, so this season, Layla is now a vampire. I keep forgetting to look up what kind of vampire she is. She's the one that feeds off of negative emotions. So Layla is a vampire. Quinn has been exposed for having powers, but not vampire powers. Fex and Fex and Peter are now in the vampire world, and Fex is trying to stall as long as possible so they don't figure out that Peter is Quinn's vampire. Because once they figure out that Peter's Quinn's vampire, they will go after Quinn.
Bro, you're not convinced me there's a vampire named Peter. I'm still not buying that, bro.
No. Peter wasn't.
No. Spelled differently. It can't just be regular old Peter.
So recap: Peter was a friend of Quinn, and he was bitch made. He was like the bitch made friend, and then he betrayed Peter. He betrayed Quinn, and Quinn was mad at him. But then Peter sacrificed himself for Quinn, and Quinn, in a panic, brought him back to life as a ghoul. We went over that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you're not convinced me. We go through all this to fight some vampire, and the dude comes out. His name is Peter.
Yeah, no. The only real pure vampire we know now is Fex, Silver, and Arthur. These are the only couple vampires.
Those are bad names too. I don't like these.
But Peter is disguised as Quinn, so they can pretend that like he's somebody. So he could just stall. It's just a stall mission, basically. Meanwhile, Quinn and Logan are secretly working on fixing the portal to the vampire world so they can get Fex and Peter back. Although Logan doesn't really care about Fex, he cares about Peter because him and Peter kind of grew closer as friends and all that shit. Meanwhile, earlier in the story, Aaron was sexually assaulted by the head of the military, and she's also wanted because they freed her from getting her power taken away. And she is with a terrorist group known as Pure. Now, Pure...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Pure is a terrorist group in this universe that wants to eliminate superpowers in the world. It's like the Equalist from Avatar.
Yeah.
So, but we found out that Layla was secretly a sleeper agent for Pure. And so because of her, she sent Aaron to Pure to keep her safe because they didn't know where else to put her because she couldn't be in the school anymore. But now that Layla has defected from Pure, she also wants to get Aaron back. It sounds like I'm going over a lot of plot lines because this season is about the side characters. That's why I had to go over all this. That's right. Quinn doesn't get much to do this season until the very end. This is mainly a side character focused season. We actually do. Oh, we also get to see more of Leo, who is Quinn's instructor, who Quinn accidentally turned into a vampire. A really strong one at that. And Leo has gone off on his own to do his own training so he can prepare for what he believes is the inevitable war between the humans and the Dalki. And he's assuming at some point the vampires, now that he knows that they exist. And so I do kind of like seeing Leo learn Quinn's path, but he's way more free because he's out in the open world. He actually has more things he can try out, and he also introduces the new power system introduced to the series called Ki. Yeah, that's right. We introduced Ki to this universe. Ki in this universe is your spiritual energy that you could channel through your body, and it can power you up. But only a certain section of people know about Ki and were trained in it, and Leo passed this knowledge down to Quinn exclusively because he believes Quinn was worthy of that power. So right now, also, I should note that Quinn
is from Hunter x Hunter.
Pretty much. And so Quinn is tasked with meditating as long as he can until he can infuse his Ki with his vampire energy, and then he can learn the next steps of his training. All right, so all in all, how do I feel about this season compared to the last one? For an arc focused mostly on the side characters, it was actually pretty enjoyable. Earlier in the season, we had chapters that focused on Borden, and I never liked Borden as a character by himself, so I never liked those chapters. So I was kind of dreading, like, oh my god, are we really going to be away from Quinn this long? Because he is the most compelling character to follow because of his unique power system situation. But actually, I did like following Vex's storyline. I liked his whole arc of basically he's already in trouble because he snuck to the human world for funsies, and he knows he betrayed his sister's trust by kind of lying about how he handled the Quinn situation. And he knows it's a matter of time before his sister finds out he lied to her, which is like a big thing. And even his father, I like how the thing that Quinn would have been guilty for, if not for Vex, was that that vampires are not allowed to make more vampires without consent of every other vampire. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't.
That's like so much work.
You can't. Yeah, you can't make a new vampire unless if you're a vampire lord, and even then you have to let people know that you're going to do that.
So every time somebody wants to, extend the population, they have to go to, like, let's say your neighbor and get their permission.
You have to go to the council. You got to go to your government office.
Okay.
Imagine if you wanted to have a baby and you had to go to, like, the neighborhood watch to let them know.
Right.
Guys, I'm going to be cracked for a back today. We're trying for the second kid.
It's not gonna be okay with you.
I don't know. This seems like a tedious process. I'm not gonna lie to you there.
Yeah. So Peter is an illegal because Quinn, first off, is not a high lord in the Vampire Order, as far as they are aware, and he made Peter, and so Fex is again. He pretended like he killed Peter, and he brought Fex. He brought Peter in disguise. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. But eventually Peter's disguise is gonna wear out, and when it does, that's when he's gonna get discovered. And so it's basically Fex stalling as long as he can, and Peter working with them to make that work. I do like, though, we do get a gauge because Peter's power as a ghoul it's tied directly to Quinn. So up until a certain point, Quinn will get too strong for Peter. But for now, the stronger Quinn gets, the stronger Peter gets. They're physically at the same level. They don't have the same powers, but they're at the same level. And so we do get to see that for Quinn's age, through Peter, because he does get a fight scene with a pretty experienced vampire, Quinn is actually pretty strong. And so even the vampires are like, because they try to torture the information out of him by having him fight and show off kind of his abilities. And also, and eventually they do find out that Peter's a ghoul. So they're using that connection to try to deduce, like, okay, well, if Peter's in pain, his owner will feel it. So maybe someone in the crowd is the person who made the ghoul, and so we're gonna figure all that out. But they can't, they don't figure it out. But they are amazed that Peter is so strong. He's able to fight one of the top students in the Vampire Order right now, like the hot shit right now, and actually win. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, it doesn't mean that Quinn is on Vampire Knight level, which is where Silver is. So he's somewhere between on the cusp of Vampire Noble, but not on the Vampire Knights here. Eventually, they do figure out Fex's deception, which was kind of heartbreaking because Fex's dad was so proud of him for turning in an illegal. Basically, he was like, "Good job, son. I used to think you were a worthless piece of shit, but you did this one thing for me. Oh man, I can't wait to promote you to the head of the house."
Love at our house today, boy. Congratulations.
So Fex, but yeah, Fex gets discovered and put in jail, and I do like the moment where like Silver comes in. He's like, Fex, why would you lie to me though? I'm your like sister. I trust you. And Fex is like, listen, I'll be real with you, bro. I went to Earth and I met this other vampire, and this dude got strong. I came there, I was stronger than him. In like a month, I'm pretty sure he could whoop my ass. I don't know what happened. And I'm pretty sure this kid is going to change the vampire world. You have to believe in him.
As I believe the goddamn world.
Just the goddamn world. And Silver's like, oh, and then also he says, also he saved my life too. And we formed a bond like brothers. And I couldn't betray my brother. Like, it wasn't that I didn't understand my duties to the house, but I made a promise to my brother, and I can't betray him. And Silver's like, I'm mad at you, but I understand. I understand why you did it now. So, meanwhile, we cut to Leo and Aaron's storyline, which is pretty cool. Aaron basically is trying to be the top terrorist in the camp, so she can be sent on missions, and so she could try to run away from the terrorists, basically, because she doesn't want to be here.
I don't want to be here either.
Yeah. So,
in this situation.
Yeah. So Aaron, I do like that. I do like how Aaron is adjusting to life without her powers, because she used to pride herself on having her ice powers, but they got taken away by Jack True Dream, so she doesn't have her powers anymore. And she never will. So her adjusting to like sword fighting and getting better at her skills. I do like she uses the move that Fex taught her. And she finally gets that down. I know she was struggling with it, but now she's learned it. But this is also the most vulnerable we've seen Aaron. Usually Aaron is like kind of straight-laced and uptight, and she got the shit on lock. But this is the most vulnerable we've seen her, and I do like how the chapters really unfold in that direction. I also do love when Leo and Aaron finally meet, and they have their little crossover. We actually get to see Leo's strength, because he's already one of the strongest in the series so far that we've seen. And we get to see him fight with his vampire powers. It is actually pretty cool. I actually really do like how it kind of it's short, but it's really cool to see that, like, listen, if it came down to it, if Quinn was really in trouble, Leo would really be the last line of defense. Like, he's the guy to go to. Like, he's a good guy to have in our corner. That arc ends with Leo and Aaron teaming up, and for the first time since the season finale of 2 seasons ago, we get to see Arthur again. And now Leo and Aaron are going to have to interact with Arthur in the later seasons. So whatever that entails. Lastly, we have Quinn go on his Batman arc, basically. Quinn is having a problem because he can't level up anymore. He finally reached a limit, like, because usually what happens is he has to drink different types of blood to upgrade his stats at a more quick level. And he goes to a hospital, and he tries to drink a lot of blood, and he does a lot of it. But at some point, his system's like, okay, you're done. You got to level up. You actually have to physically level up before you can get any more. And he's like, oh, well, how the fuck am I going to get stronger? Like, I'm going to the vampire world. I got to get better very quickly. And so he has this idea, and he's like, you know what? When I first got these powers, I wanted to stop bullying in my school. Like, I wanted to go around and beat up bullies, but I could never do that because I was so caught up in all my other shit. So now I'm going to dress up in my Batman costume. I'm going to beat the dog shit out of these people, basically.
Well, and, not a real Batman costume.
Well, it's not a real Batman costume, but it's like a demon mask and, like, all black and all this other shit, basically. So, And so I like how like literally so the bullies he finds out the bullies are an organized crime ring. There's an organized crime ring of bullying led by a teacher named Duke, who we met before in the series, who's been picking on Quinn's friend Borden. And so I do like how like this became, it literally started being like Batman, where there were people like, well, yeah, you're supposed to get our money from like the kids. Where's my money? He's like, bro, I don't want to. There's like some demon guy out there. I don't want to fuck with that dude, bro. Like they start bullying in the day now, and now they're not even sure if they should bully in the day anymore. So like I don't know. And they try to make this trap for Quinn.
If they had balls, they would have just did the Batman scene. Who are you supposed to be? To start beating this.
Yeah, he's like, bitch. And actually, they do have a scene similar where they do try to trap Quinn. And there's this dude who's like, but like Quinn sees the trap coming. He's like, listen, y'all three get out of here. I don't even want to fight y'all. I want to fight the dude who thinks he trapped me right here. And the guy's like, oh, so you see me? Okay. And so they have this fight, and Quinn just beats the dog shit out of him, basically. And this was a teacher. This is actually a teacher. So now he's stronger than the teachers in the school, some of them. And so this culminates into a final fight. Because Duke, who's in charge, and he's trying to keep this crime ring organization up and running, he holds a rally, and he says, just so you know, this vigilante y'all love so much, he beat up a teacher. He's a villain. He's a menace. And I'm going to bring him to justice. And so people start saying, well, actually, no, since he came here, he saved my life. And he beat up those bullies. And you know what? None of the teachers stopped the bullying. So maybe this guy is valid. Everyone's like, yeah, they're all cheering for him and everything. And so Duke's like, okay, everyone who just cheered for him right now, you're going to the dungeon. And they're like, what?
Basically, you can't attention.
Yeah. So Quinn's like, I can't let him get away with this. So he masks up and he fights Duke in front of everybody. And I love this fight.
Why you say it like that? You have me thinking about the Dragon Ball Z scene.
Yeah, I can't let him get away with this.
What's this?
And so Quinn masks up and he goes down to fight Duke in front of everybody. And I love this fight because it's the embodiment of everything I love about Quinn's character lately. He gets into this fight. It's pretty tough because, one, he can't use his vampire powers, not in front of everybody. He can't do that. So he has to only use. He can't he can't use his shadow powers because he's the only one with shadow powers that everyone knows about. So if he uses it, everyone knows it's Quinn. So he can only use his physical attacks, basically. So he's kind of nerfed. Well, he's nerfed more than he usually would be. And so he fights this guy, and Duke is just strong. Like Quinn is doing his thing, and even Duke's impressed with how much he's keeping up. But Duke is just too strong for him. And there comes a point where Quinn's like, I don't know if I can beat this guy, and if I get caught here, it's like over. I gotta retreat. But he sees everybody in the crowd, and he's like, you know what? Sometimes there's a time for retreating, but sometimes you just gotta let them know not to fuck with you. I love this moment.
You gotta pop out and show them.
You gotta pop out and show him. So he, with all of his remaining strength, he charges up a fist, and he feels like this power swell within him, and it's like his key infusing with his body. And he's like, "What's going on? I never felt this before." And then he goes into punch, like they start clashing punches. It's like a scene from My Hero Academia. It's like one for all, 100%. Basically, and they clash fists. And when the dust settles, Quinn's arm is broken. Duke's arm is gone. Like it's just clean up.
But now we know who you are, bro. You got to go to school tomorrow, Lisa.
So Quinn's arm is broken, and it'll heal eventually as long as he gets some blood, and he already has blood saved up, so he's fine. And so he's like, I think I proved my point, and he just vanishes into the night. And Duke's like, I have to find who this is and kill him no matter what it takes, basically. But the arc ends. Bullying has been so because of this. Nobody wants to bully anybody anymore because they just saw live on stage this vigilante be on the level of one of the strongest teachers in this like bracket of the school. So like, you know what, bullying stuff. We're not doing that. That was crazy. So Quinn has finally achieved one of his objectives. The arc ends. The season ends where Logan finally fixes the portal, but he's like, "Listen, Quinn, we are not going in alone. I told all your friends about this, and they want to go too. And summer started, so we don't have classes, so we can go there for as long as we need to, as long as we get out. And also, I developed this shit so that the vampires can't tell we're human, as long as we inoculate ourselves every couple hours and everything. So next season is the facts retrieval arc. Okay, that's what I'm calling it. Basically, we're going to the vampire world for the first time. We're gonna learn some vampire lore, and we're gonna save our boy Fex. And we're gonna save our boy.
This is just a Soul Society arc, bro.
I do like that.
The land we've never been to.
Right, I do like before this though. Silver does meet Quinn for the first time, and he's like, "Listen, Quinn, I don't believe in you like my brother does, but he seems to trust you for some reason, and I'm begging you, save my brother before they execute him in public. I need you to save him." And so I do like
that. They literally bleed. They just bleed.
So I guess we're doing it. That's more reasons to listen to it if you're a Bleach fan. But I'm really excited to go to the vampire world. They've been building up to this for a minute. The fear has always been the vampires find Quinn, but now we're going to the vampires. And I'm really excited to see what happens with Leo and Aaron and Arthur, because Arthur's been missing from the story since he was first introduced. But yeah, all in all, I'm really enjoying this book. Again, I recommend it. Again, it takes a little bit to get going, but once it gets going, it's kind of addicting to listen to. But yeah, My Vampire System, you can listen to it on Pocket FM. The first 147 are for free. The rest you gotta wait, or you can pay for them if you want to jump ahead. But it's gonna cost you a lot of money to get all the episodes. So
yeah. Don't you know this guy in the photo? He looks like you remember the guy who played Polka Dot Man?
No, yeah, that's not a Polka Dot Man. There you go. Yeah. Those trailers don't do this show justice. It doesn't do this justice, bro.
Wait.
Which?
R.I.P.
Hi.
Oh well.
Do you know Rosio Vampire?
Yeah, I know.
Rosario Vampire.
I know about it.
That a lot of the shit he explained reminds me of that of Arc for that.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I wanted to make a reference. I'm like, no one here is gonna get it. No one's gonna know what I'm talking about.
I am curious, Austin. Would you be willing to try the show?
I'll probably listen to it by next week. Somewhat by next week.
All right.
I'm too busy watching King of the Hill at the moment, Jake.
That's
so
right.
sorry.
You can listen to it. Okay, you listen to it when you work.
Gotcha. But anyway, speaking of listening, I think we should listen to the next topic on the list, audience. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Austin, you do the honors.
Minimum Spider-Man number 19.
Wow. The went that low for you.
It's not bad, bro. It just the time skips are trying to get into you, and now you know it's ending. Like you skip so much like stuff you could have used a lot of good time on, you know.
Yeah.
Number 19. So we follow back up with what's his name?
Richard. Yeah.
Peter, bro. Because that's Peter's dad name. I never think to call him Sundance. I always think like Nathan or something for some reason.
Yeah, at least it ain't Paul, man. So
I'm telling you now, this book would have plummeted sales if they named his son Paul.
Oh God, yeah. So
it would have been right after that happened too, when this book came out.
Yep. So what happened in this book?
Kingpin is still pressuring him. He wants to know who Spider-Man is, or he's going to kill this kid and whoever else is with him, hunt down his family, all the other stuff. They start trying to attack him, and the suit goes into basically protect Richard mode. And it turns into Venom.
It literally tells Richard, just close your eyes, all right? And don't open it. Don't open your eyes until everything's over.
I thought he was going to murder everyone in that room.
He was going to, man. Like, good Lord. You see Felicia's, you see the original Black Cat, right? Like, again, audience, let's remind you that he's in a wheelchair, but then later on you see, like, damn, he has scarring all over his face. Good Lord, dude. Like, okay.
The Green Goblin fucked him up with that fucking bomb, bro.
Yeah. This is what happens.
It's literally the people don't know. It's literally the Spider-Man 3 like effect. Like everything when you got hit in the face with a bomb.
I just like how it gave the most realistic depiction of a super thief with no gadgets or extra powers or skills. Yeah, what do you think's gonna happen if you send him to go after one person who already has the
Took him
powers
out
of a
there too.
spider and an Iron Man suit?
He's in the basement of the Iron Man and a guy in a spider suit, bro.
Yeah. So
And all he had was a rope, bro. It was so. If people go back and watch the issue, that's just so funny to look at.
yeah.
He
So
basically just jumped the whole issue for no reason.
should I bring up the picture of Venom?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
My site would not let me download pictures, man. I was struggling. It got kicked me out and stuff. So I was like, but as you can see, it's more modern Venom designs than the classic, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what?
At least they gave him the hand patches for where his web was shut.
Yep, he's gone full like beast mode in this, man. Like, even Kingpin like literally runs away. He's like, I ain't gonna be part of this shit. Like, good lord. God sakes, even Black Cat, she's crying. Audience, she's like scared.
She's freaking out, and that gets Richard to calm down and stop. Till he's soft.
And yeah. He still has feelings for the woman that ultimately backstabbed him.
The woman that betrayed you and was going to get you killed, and your father and mother and sister killed.
At the very least,
the power of horny does.
Yeah. At the very least, getting tortured by Kingpin. You know.
And that's why I criticize this relationship. People I'm telling you, people would have loved this group, this pairing. And I was like, we have one issue. I get if you like them or you think they're cute, but to be that invested that you're crying about it after one issue.
Ultimately, people like it because it does seem cute, you know, like coming of age story of Peter's son.
It's one issue before she betrayed him.
Yep. Oh, dude,
you just had a hello. How you doing? Let me get your number, and then she was so about to die.
Mm-hmm. And then even after this,
answer was, "It's in my nature." That's some Pirate of the Caribbean shit. If you remember that.
Yep. And then later on, it turns out, even after this whole night, right? Richard still goes out to talk with her audience.
I'm telling you now, he would have came home. He was gonna have to square up.
Yep.
You strong enough to fight crime. You strong enough to fist fight your father. We're gonna figure this out.
Wow. Like, Richard, word of advice, dude. Treat them like a celebrity. They'll treat you like a fan. That's a hard lesson you're going to have to learn, dude.
Yeah, you're sipping hard. She has all you did was give her a chance to betray you again. She has no reason to be loyal to you if you're going to keep coming back to her regardless.
Especially what you nearly killed her dad in this issue, right?
Which I just want the audience to understand. Like, that might be emotionally realistic, but that doesn't make him as likable. That doesn't make him likable. that's
I wouldn't say it's emotionally realistic in a sense. I get boys having crushes, but because of how Richard was set up with his family beforehand, I don't think it's in his nature to immediately go back to her. It's right after him.
Yeah.
There's no we don't cut to Peter and then like a few days later he goes talk to her. It's literally 5 minutes later.
Oh boy. Our teenage years audience.
A guy who beat your father to a pulp and plans to murder your family. And that's the reason you're running. He knows the truth about everything.
Oh man, the things we do when we were teenagers, audience, you know.
Like, people don't know, I already like this kid when he revealed his face immediately. That's all his dad does to keep his stupid secret identity he fucked up with.
Yeah, Peter would never do that in the meantime when he was a kid.
That was like that said, keep the mask on. That what makes it fun.
Audience, see what happens when you read a book, because remember, that was our one and only bonding moment. You're like, hey, you read that book? I read that back too. You want to sit down and talk? Like,
you read my vampire system? So did I.
I can guarantee you she's probably lied about this shit too. That's the funny part about it.
Oh, God, dude.
You read over there? Yeah. It's about the will, right? And like, of course you know that. That's the average situation. People know that. You don't have to read the book to know that. But man, that's about him, man.
Okay, so
cut to Mole Man. For people don't remember, Mole Man, basically everybody is portraying Kingpin in different ways. Raven portrayed him with kidnapping Peter and them. He was gonna try to, he kept him alive when he was not supposed to do, and he was fucking around for months. Mysterio's full on betrayed him because he's Gwen and 5 other people. Kingpin confirmed that he knows that in this issue, by the way, too, because I didn't know he knew.
Mm-hmm.
Black Cat, I guess not. Not him.
Black
Negative wants to do his own thing. He's ready to step out and be the crime boss. So he's probably gonna betray him too.
Yeah.
But,
man, Black Cat, that guy even looks worse now than he did before. Not only is he's in the wheelchair, but you see the scarring in his face, and you see that what do you call that tube that some patients have to put in their nose?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's one of the breathing tubes, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That means he got worse after that fact. Maybe probably had like a lung failure or something.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Again, what were people expecting by sending him with just a whip? Like,
he was the first person he sent to. You at least be like the scout. You want to be my first line of defense. Oh, go hunt down these 2 guys with superpowers. Black Cat. No, I'm a thief.
You ain't no final boss. What the hell, So, yeah.
But Mole Man basically eventually finds Peter. Well, Peter finds him, but Mole Man tries to get him to work with him. He gives him some vital information about Kingpin, and he tells him, about the sun situation and him getting away. But Peter still doesn't trust Mole Man. To be fair, Mole Man did help him out before, but it's Mole Man. Guys been working. This man has been Kingpin's right man longer than Peter been alive. According to them. And Mole Man says, when you're ready to act like a mature adult, you can come find me and I'll help you out. Doc Ock still living in Peter's house. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
He upgraded their defenses and stuff, and he started staying in their house because they weren't living there.
Wasn't it Mole Man who told Peter, you realize you can't live here anymore, right?
That would everyone tell him. He doesn't believe.
Like, now that Kingpin knows where you live, like, come on, seriously.
Yeah, these defenses aren't going to do anything. You notice I just walked in here, right?
Yep.
It looks just like him and 2 mole boys in your house, and you didn't know that. So that's how bad your defenses are. That's right, Doc Ock putting them up.
Oh, man.
But we cut back to Mary Jane. We find out they're staying with I think they're staying with her mom.
Yeah.
They're staying with her mom, or they're staying with Gail. But they brought Gail in the conversation, but it's one of their houses. They should be staying at, which is terrible. That's like the next place you'll look. You know what's funny? Dragon Ball Z Bridge made the same. It's like, okay, where we gotta go kill Goku? Where do we go? We'll go to Goku's house. Obviously, they'll take from Goku's house. Where we go after that? They go to Kami's house. That's literally the second place they looked. That was literally the second place they looked. Like, this is why you don't go to family house when you're running. That's the second place the police will look.
Sure. Or maybe it's so obvious they won't try it.
It worked in Gotham, audience. So,
bro, it was stupid. But Gail, not Gail. What's her mom's name? No, this is her aunt. No, this is her mom, not her aunt.
Okay, whatever. She's an old lady of gray hair, audience.
It confused me because she looks like May.
The
people don't know. Her mom here looks so much like Ultimate May Parker for no reason.
Yep.
It also doesn't help that she tried to hit on Ben Parker. Yeah, the other issue.
That's why
I don't think this is Anna. I don't know her name, but she tried. Basically, Peter and MJ finally started having a conversation where she's trying to lay it out to him. This is too much. You need to handle this shit now, or something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And mom's just trying to break in, bro. And she has to basically close the door and like, leave us alone, okay? Just leave us alone. I thought it was funny, but MJ finally sits him down. This shit's too much. There's too much stuff going on. We need Nathan. Richard keeps sneaking out. He almost died.
Oh, dude, there was like the moment where, like, when they caught Richard coming back through the window, right? Like they caught him, and Richard's the suit's trying to talk to Richards, and Richard's just like saying, "Shut up," and then MJ
Mary
thought,
Jane thought he was talking to him. I be talking to
"What?
her.
What did you say to me?" Like,
I was
oh,
talking to the suit. I don't care who you're talking to.
yeah,
You get your
dude.
little ass in there.
That is the first time she sounded like a real person, by the way.
And Peter told the suit that, hey, he's grounded. Keep it in here. The suit said, okay.
I think so. I was waiting kind of for this moment. I think while I am glad that it's in the book, I think we are too. It is.
It should have happened the moment they had to move.
Right. That was the time where it was like, okay, Peter, listen, I know you want to do this, but like, I need to know, like, I need a better reason than like, I feel like there's something missing in my life. Like, that's not acceptable at this point.
And to be fair, you could have showed her. You want him to show her the Iron Man video?
Hey, excuse a spouse for wanting to be supportive, right?
No. There's support, but
it's a difference from being supportive and actually letting him his characters put their lives in danger.
Right, and it's not like it's just that like she has to worry about the kids. Like so if she wants to play the role of the wife, that's fine. But you have kids. You're not just looking out for your husband's well-being. You have to look out for like what's best for the group.
Realistically, the conversation should have happened the moment Nathan became Spider-Man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then, if you didn't do it there, it would have to be the moment y'all had to move. The moment you know for a fact your lives are in danger because of what Peter did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
and instead she waited until the brother. She caught the son sneaking back in the house.
Right. And it wasn't even after he came back from getting tortured or kidnapped before.
Well, like I say, that's exactly immediately when they moved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. I mean, like when so after the Venom thing, he goes back home, right?
Yeah, that's when they moved.
Oh, okay.
Peter, the moment Peter got back, he was kneeling on the ground. He's like, "We need to go. We have to move." And then next issue, we was here this place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because Craven found out who he was. Mysterio, Moleman, they all know his name.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna say I don't think this book altogether is that good so far. I've read some issues.
It's not.
Yeah.
If you go issue by issue, there are good issues, but overall, it's not a good book. They skip too much. They causes you to miss a lot of development that a lot of characters need.
I don't.
And they kind of have the Batman problem where people are just kind of popping up whether they need to or not.
I don't even find this Peter that interesting, to be honest. He's not.
Oh, wow.
He's not intelligent.
Well, he's really not.
Yeah, he's not intelligent. And despite his life changing because he's known his parents longer, it's not reflective in the book at all. I feel like I know very little.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, so he doesn't go to child like when he's like a little child. It's like when he's like a teenager, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But we don't get much exploration into that. Like, what was that like for Peter? And I'm not saying like it has to be deep or anything, but like every now and then, like, hey Peter, I remember when my mom and dad used to do this with me. I remember when like how I met Mary Jane when I did this and this. Like, I remember when we fell in love. Like, I don't know. There's just like for this story, because the conceit of this story is that
you do get some of that in the Christmas issue.
Okay, I think my thing more or less is
kind of get the rundown on everything Peter's done since they've been together and why he thinks he deserves better than Peter, and maybe they kind of have to put her in her place about it. But I get what you mean.
Yeah,
we don't really we get told stuff, but we don't really see stuff, but we can't really experience this situation here because this Peter clearly not. As much as they want to act like this is our Peter, he's not our Peter. No. He's not our Peter if our Peter grew up. We know what happened if our Peter didn't get bit by a spider. They tell that story all the time. And it's not this guy.
Yeah, I think also he's just irresponsible as like a person. I really don't like there's not a Peter I look up as a paragon of like responsibility at all. His method
this profile. This why is this the cover?
I don't know.
He's not even there.
To mislead, I guess.
I don't feel like this Peter's like really responsible as a person, so I don't really like him that much. Like, even the way he's going about it, like all the shit he's doing just because he's feeling like he's missing something in his life. And that's a cool story to go through. But because it's not Peter focused, it's about like, oh, the conspiracy with Kingpin. Oh, Harry Osborn's daddy drama.
It kind of feels like it's more about how Harry affects his life at this point.
Yeah. And so it's not really about what the book started out with. And when the book ends, I don't think it really is going to land that. It is all to set up, even if it's to set up Richard. I don't like Richard. I don't. Like, I don't think he's that. Yeah, I don't think he's that interesting. So,
well,
I don't know.
When they eventually give this a new number 1 and have Richard be front and center as a Spider-Man, we'll see what they do.
He confirmed that he always planned to do 24 issues, by the way. It was never going to go past 24. At least this part of the run. So this is unchallenged. This is what he intended. And if this is what he intended so far, I will actively say this is probably the worst Jonathan Gaiman book I ever read.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I get to. We're at 19 issues in. I don't know if Spider-Man, I don't know the effect this Spider-Man has on the city. I don't know if he's really making a difference. I don't know much about the villains. I mean, they're after, they're interested in him, but he doesn't really have a relationship with a lot of these villains. I don't feel.
No, at least he has a better relationship with Uncle Ben than him.
Right. It's like this is just like I don't know. This is just a huge miss. And I think Spider-Man fans are only gravitating towards it because it's just not 616. Which I get it.
To be fair, before the current run, I will say, as bad as this was, it was still better than Zeb Wells' run.
I agree.
Yep.
The current run, though, with Hellgate, it's actually kind of entertaining. We learned a lot about Peter's childhood we never actually get to see because people don't like Peter.
That's cool. I guess I say I think Spider-Man fans are, when it came to this book, I don't know how they feel now, but I just know I felt very reactionary, and I get it. I still think if you really want to make a dent in Spider-Man, just don't buy it. I don't know why it has to be like just buy a different book. But yeah, this ain't
matter. One day you'll understand.
One day I have to learn.
They would easily cancel Peter Parker Spider-Man for a while, and they just waited a year to bring him back, knowing that everyone who dropped is going to immediately come back regardless.
Someday the editor of Marvel's going to teach you the facts of life, bro. That's going to be a whole different.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, there it is, audience. Was there anything else going on?
I'll give it like a 3 out of 5. Like the whole run so far for me is a 3 out of 5. It started off good. It started off promising, and then we started skipping months and at a time. It wasn't like 1 month. It was like at one point we skipped 4 months in a row. So like this dude has been Spider-Man for almost like 2 years, I think. At this point.
Yep.
At least it's more than a year. And we only have 19 issues. We don't see him. It only feels like we've seen like one real arc with him as Spider-Man. He hasn't locked anybody up. He hasn't had any significant victories. He hasn't accomplished anything as Spider-Man. His son right now is technically more successful than he is as Spider-Man.
Oh, damn.
It's been 2 years.
At least he has not got beat up.
I don't think a single person can tell me one iconic thing from this book. Like I think, like an iconic.
I can.
Tell me something.
The Shocker one, the Shocker interaction. Yeah, or Shocker's like, don't worry, I'll take
W to be iconic.
Hey man, like where Shocker is like, oh, I'll turn my life around after this, Peter. Thank you for talking me out of life of crime. Here, shake my hand, man. Like, oh, okay, that was easy. Like,
but what I mean by iconic for me, I would say the first issue. I think the whole build of him choosing to be Spider-Man is actually really fucking cool in the first issue. And then after that, the best scene would probably be something with Harry, but not.
Yeah, I guess I think of like the iconic panels where like Peter lifts the machine off him or something like. That's more what I'm thinking about when I think of like what makes me think, oh, this is a Spider-Man. I guess that's kind of
then it is like just issue 1 where it's like he's choosing responsibility of being a hero over a regular life, and you see like Uncle Ben talk to him, and you got Mary J talk to him at the same time, and him making that choice, and it ends on like the panel of him standing on the rooftop with the birds, the doves flying and shit.
Yeah,
like a John Woo film.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's probably the best panel here, sadly.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should
have a better panel than him in the Ultimate comics.
I should let everybody know we can go an extra hour tonight because I have to work tomorrow, so that's fine. So
gotcha.
I just want people to know.
All right. Anyway, but all right then. Any final thoughts on this, Austin, before we move on?
He doesn't deserve that costume. He's changed the color.
Okay. Go a little something scarlety or Peter. So, all right. Love that. Let's move on to the next.
Okay, it's my turn. Anyway, I'm talking about Marvel Voices Avengers Academy, issue 53, aka dropping.
Is that the Juggernaut kid?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's about him. Trust. Anyway, so we start off in Vancouver, Canada. Right, they're watching a hockey game. The Squatches versus the Robber Barons. Don't ask me why that's their names. Just go along with it, okay? Okay, Austin. What? Okay, he died.
We lost Austin.
Anyways, so Justin is like, "Oh my God, kick their asses," and they start fighting on the court and everything like that. And Aaron's like, "Yeah, well, I'm just eating nachos and everything like that, so I'm thriving." And so Justin is like, "I mean, like, it means a lot to me that you came and everything. I've been a fan since I was a kid." And so Aaron's like, "Are they just allowed to fight?" And Justin was like, "Oh no, but they do it anyways." So that's the fun part about it. And so basically we cut over to the other side of the rink where we see Juggernaut, Kane Marco, and Squid Boy, his adopted kid. They're watching the same fight, and as the Juggernauts do, they fighting. They're like, "Oh my God, beat their ass!"
But it's an unstoppable force meeting an unstoppable force.
Exactly. With one being the potential boyfriend and the other one the adopted child as guests. It's great. And so Kane is like, "Oh, I just get really excited, And Squid Boy's like, "Oh, you're just mad that your hotel is losing to my hometown." All this other stuff. You know how it be. And guess what? The mascots are fighting too. It's great. And so Kane is like, "Oh, me, I'm just here for the fights. I don't really care about the sports aspect of it." So, Anyway, so we cut over to New York, where we see, can you go to the next picture? Where we see Sheila and Marcus, they're chit-chatting in New York City. And so Marcus is like, "Oh, did you get dumped?" And Sheila was like, "No, we're just taking a little bit of a break. You get the idea." And she's like, "Thanks for meeting me, like, with me, like, thanks for this, letting me vent, I got friends in the school and stuff, but Morgan's away and it's just complicated, you know how it be." And he's like, "Oh yeah, and cis people don't get it either. I get it, bestie. So, but you're right. People need to figure themselves out. It's fine. It's all good, And basically, he's talking about his mom, who was apparently a real life reporter that was also put into the comics. It's a whole thing. Marcus is the fictional son, by the way. And all that jazz. I'm just gonna try to skip through it a little bit. So yeah. And he basically claims that I want to be like her and all this other stuff. And he's like, not as a hostage, not as a damsel in distress, you know how it be. And he's like, "Oh, don't get me wrong, like, I really like Justin, and we're gonna keep dating, hopefully, but we need to have our own little adventures right now. Happily ever after just sounds like an ending, so, yeah." Anyways, so, Sheila says goodbye to Marcus and everything and get the phone call and all this other stuff. And so we cut back to the academy with Brielle, and she goes up to Gabriel and Nate, and she's like, "Oh, will you help me out?" And Gabriel's like, "Well, a soul out of options, crying out for desperation. That's what every devil wants to hear." And keep in mind, Nate just wants to play fucking tennis, dude. He just wants to play tennis. He don't want to deal with this shit. Anyways, so we cut back over to Sheila, where Wiccan pulls up, and he's like, "Did someone call for help?" And she's like, "Oh shit, like, that was like really fucking fast. That was only 6 seconds. What the fuck?" So we cut back to the game where we see a kiss cam on Justin and Aaron. And Squid Boy's like, "Oh my God, that guy's as big as you." And Kane's like, "Who needs all this sentimental crap? I'm here for the fighting." So can you go to the next pic? Kiss cam. So they were about to give it a go before this one motherfucker's like, "Children of Sidorak, heed your master's voice." And it's Malfagor, if you guys remember from the couple weeks ago. And he's like, so even like Kane is like, "Oh God, not this nerd again," And Squib was like, "Is this bad?" Yes, it's bad. Can you go to the next picture?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Malfigor chains up Aaron and Squid Boy, and they're like, "Well, the battle begins. Now, at last, we will decide who's the true Juggernaut," and that's where the issue ends. So we gotta wait till next week for more. Hopefully, the rest of this Juggernaut fight. I've been waiting a hot minute for this fight, Dusty.
Mm-hmm. The fact that it still hasn't happened is crazy.
I know, it's been a hot minute, dude. Like, it's insane.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that's the end of the issue. Stay tuned for next week. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, all right, then. With that, let's move on to the next topic.
Oh, wow. The resolution of this picture was terrible.
It was a mini version, dude, when I opened it, dude.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. I want to see if I can fix that. So we're talking about Doctor Who, season 5. This is my first season without David Tennant or Eccleston. In fact, this is my first season without Russell T. Davis, who was the showrunner for seasons 1 through 4. Now, I said this before. Think of every Doctor Who showrunner as like a comic writer. And every time one steps off and another one steps on, this is a new comic run, basically. So, like when you read your Spiderman comic runs, like the difference between like a Nick Spencer and a Zeb Wells. You know what I mean? And so this is starring a new Doctor. After the ending of season 4, David Tennant sacrificed his life so he could save Wilfred, who was like a father to him, or the father that he always wanted, basically.
Yeah.
And the Doctor had to come in terms with the fact that he was going to die. Which again, I really recommend going on YouTube and look up the scene I could do Doctor Who and then put in I could do so much more. And I recommend anybody looks up that scene. It is a phenomenal piece of acting. It is one of the best monologues I've ever heard, basically. Yeah. But this season is So basically he dies and then he reincarnates into Matt Smith. And so this is Matt Smith's adventures. Now I have a theory, and so far I've been proven correct. That when the Doctor regenerates, he regenerates in a way that benefits him. So when Eccleston was started, when we started with Eccleston, who was the first Doctor of this new era, he was a war survivor. He had PTSD and all this other shit. And by the end, through meeting Rose Tyler and Rose Tyler opening up his humanity again, he became like a more hopeful person. So when he regenerated, he became David Tennant. And David Tennant at the start was a very bright, very hopeful, very energetic person. He was filled with life. But by the end of Tennant's life, Tennant was very closed off. He was sad. He was bitter. He was closed off. He didn't want to feel things anymore. He didn't want to have like close connections with friends or anything like that. And so when David Tennant becomes Matt Smith, Matt Smith is basically an evolution of that. Matt Smith he wants friends. Like he doesn't want to be alone, but he's less emotionally involved in other people's lives. Like your business is your business. I'm not here to really interfere. He's way more closed off. He's way more alien and distant. He's way more like about his adventure and less about his companions. Not to say he doesn't care. He will always stand up for his companions, but this is more of his priority is also more the adventure than getting to be emotionally entangled with his companions. You know what I mean? So how do I feel about this season of Doctor Who? It takes some adjusting. It was the same with David Tennant. If I was willing to admit, I'm sorry if I was just stuttering. I was waiting for. I thought it would load faster. There we go. Okay. I fixed it. There we go.
Okay, better.
Yeah. So, but this season, so getting used to Matt Smith's new acting direction. Matt Smith is a very wordy Doctor to the point I feel really bad for him because his scripts are not. You would have to study the scripts a week in advance before you can understand what you're trying to say. He does a lot of repetitive talk and rephrasing how he says things. Like he'll say something, he'll rephrase how he says it, he'll say it in a different way, he'll say it in a unique way, and then he'll finally say the thing again. And that's basically the pattern of a lot of his dialogue. It's very schizo, for lack of a better term. Next up, you probably noticed there's a female companion here. We have Amy Pond, who is the new Rose Tyler, I guess. I don't like Amy in this season. Okay. Amy is a fine companion for this doctor. I think I buy that they are friends. My problem isn't with Amy, per se. It's not Amy and the doctor. It's Amy and her boyfriend. Okay. Like Rose Tyler, Amy comes packaged with her own boyfriend, but this time instead of Mickey, it's Rory. And Rory is a good guy. Too bad Amy is okay with cheating on him.
Oh, then. Yeah.
To the point, and I do like, the only reason I like this plot is because it shows character development on the doctor's part. Very early on, so just, by the way, this also comes with its own kind of weirdness to it. When Amy and the doctor met, Amy was 5 years old. So after season 4 ended, the doctor's TARDIS was on fire because the regeneration burned it up, and the doctor crashed in the backyard of Amy's house when she was 5, and so she learned about the doctor and she was enamored with him. And then the doctor said, listen, I like how irresponsible Matt Smith is. He's like, listen, 5-year-old little girl, want to go on adventures with me? So and so he tries to invite Amy on this adventure. He's like, listen, I'm going to take you on an adventure. I'll be right back. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. 15 years pass. Okay. Yeah. The doctor didn't really have full control of his TARDIS, and he thought he came back in 5 minutes. He actually came back in 15 years, basically. And so that's how he meets Amy. Amy's mad at him for obvious reasons, because, you know, she always believed in the doctor coming back for her. She had a crush on the doctor and all this other shit. Little girl having a crush on her imaginary friend, basically. And but eventually, you know, they get reacquainted and then they go on adventures. The first time, now, what we don't find out till a little bit later, when Amy goes away with the doctor, she's engaged to Rory and she's about to get married to him, but she keeps not wanting to go back, basically. The night before they come back, though, the doctor says, listen, I'll bring you back right before the wedding. And they go back the night before the wedding. The doctor puts her in a room, like the last starts in a room, and everything's all good and everything. And as the doctor is the doctor's like, you know, check on her, make sure she's okay. Amy tries to kiss the doctor the night before her wedding.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's like, no, I'm good. And so, which I did like this because it showed the doctor had grown. The number one problem he had with his companions in the past was there would be a romantic subtext to every relationship. With Rose, he clearly loved her. Okay. To the point where he literally broke apart a relationship between Rose and Mickey so Rose would be with him, basically. And then with Martha had a crush on him, and then the doctor he didn't really explain how he was feeling right away, so he kind of led her on, and then she got tired of it, and then it broke them up. And then with Donna, it became a whole other thing. The point is, the doctor realized that, listen, if you want to keep a companion long term, don't make it a weird relationship thing. Just it's platonic friends. And so he doesn't want to kiss Amy, so he stops kissing Amy. But Amy's like, no, I want to fuck you, doctor. And she repeatedly tries to move herself on him in a very uncomfortable scene, to be honest. And I do like how the doctor resolves this. So on the wedding day, so everybody's waiting for Amy to show up, and then the doctor shows up at like Rory. No, it's not the wedding day; it's a bachelor party. The doctor shows up at Rory's bachelor party at a wedding cake. He's like, "Oh, hey, Rory, your fiance tried to kiss me." Rory's like, "What?" And he's like, "I feel like you would have taken that differently." But the doctor actually does try to repair the relationship. He sends them on a trip together so they can bond. And so, too bad this isn't the first time Amy treats Rory like less of a man. So, but she does love Rory. But listen, here's the relationship. Like, she loves Rory and she will kill people for Rory. But if she could kiss the Doctor, she will do it. That is a relationship. She will. The only person she would cheat on Rory for is the Doctor. So take that as you will. This season also because Stephen Moffat is more interested in horror stories. So slowly but surely you're seeing long gone are the days where the Doctor would just go to whatever random adventure. Like, guys, just so you know, when Russell T Davies was running the show, one of our adventures with Doctor Who was a traffic jam in the future. And that was a plot of a whole episode, just a traffic jam. Okay? Doctor Who used to just do random episodes. Some were fun, some were dark, some were emotional, but they all had the human element. Stephen Moffat is more concerned with horror and thrillers. And I think it makes Doctor Who a little bit predictable because I always know what to expect. I did like in Russell T Davies, I never knew what type of adventure I was going on. Here I kind of know, like, I kind of know the general idea of what each Doctor Who episode is going to be these days. I think the only caveat is, though, we do have an overarching plot line this time. In Russell T Davies, we did have plot lines that stretched throughout the season, but it was more like it was light. Like, it wouldn't really be the main focus of episodes. Sometimes an episode, in Russell T Davies, you would get slow buildups that the Doctor wasn't paying attention to or wasn't really that much of a big deal. In Stephen Moffat's era, episodes will stop so the Doctor can investigate this ongoing plot line, basically. Which I think is fine in this season. I think it's okay. I just think that next season, where I am now, Cryptid, listen to me. Okay. Next season, it's going to be a problem. Okay? Oh. Speaking of problems, we get the return of Dr. River Song, who was the Doctor's wife. But so this is the way it worked. And David Tennant's era, we met River Song the first time. So River Song is the Doctor's wife from the future, but the Doctor hasn't met her yet where we meet her. So like when we meet, we're meeting her from the Doctor's perspective. And the Doctor meets River in reverse order. So her first appearance is her last appearance on the timeline. And so the further we go back, the further we go forward, we're actually seeing her adventures backwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually we're gonna see where they cross over. Now we don't really know how the Doctor met River Song in season 5. I almost vomited thinking about it, but in season 6, we do actually get to learn how the Doctor met River, and I promise you, it might have to put the Doctor on the Epstein list. We might have to do that.
Oh God, dude!
It's not great.
Okay.
It's not great. I don't think Stephen Moffat meant for it to be weird, but I actually feel like talking about it. You mind if I talk about it now? We just
go ahead, might as well, man. You set up that spark, you might as well see the flame through.
Yes. So in season 6, we get to meet River Song again, and she's more of a focus this season, and the arc's about like River. And the Doctor keeps asking River, "Who are you? Like, how do we know each other? Like I don't even understand." And you also get to see the Doctor and River kiss, and that's all fine and dandy. At some point, though, there's this overarching plot line where there's overarching plot line at some point where River says, like, Doctor, there's gonna be a point where you're gonna go through a battle, and you're gonna rise higher than ever before, but it's gonna be the hardest battle you've ever lost shortly after. And the battle's over Amy. Amy gets kidnapped by this cult called the Silence and this other organization who believes the Doctor is a problem. Because basically the Doctor, everywhere the Doctor goes, he changes fucking history. And it's to a irreparable degree. Well, not really irreparable. Yeah. I don't really quite understand this because the Doctor has been since he became Matt Smith, the Doctor hasn't really committed any genocides lately. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like 9 and 10, they were genocidal maniacs. But like Matt Smith has not done anything evil. Well, I mean, to be fair, when the Doctor commits genocide, it's really as a last resort to solve a problem. It's not like he's doing anything evil. This is the best case scenario, but he hasn't done anything evil. But my point is Matt Smith hasn't really killed anybody hasn't really gone on a killing spree yet, so I don't understand that. It'd be like saying Superman's evil. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, the plot is Amy gets kidnapped through some shenanigans. It was a really good plot twist when we found out how she got kidnapped, but I digress. And Rory and the doctor go on a tirade to go save her. Now, this is when Matt Smith does commit mass slaughter on the Cybermen so they can find Amy. I thought that was actually pretty fucking funny. They do find Amy. What these people want is you find out that Amy is pregnant with the baby, right? And she's in a crib. So she has this weird baby. So the baby is so you find the doctor finds out, like, why do they want Amy's baby? Like, he's curious because they saved the day and everything, and they go save the baby. And also she delivers the baby, by the way, and they put the baby in a crib. And this is why the way Matt Smith does dialogue is funny. Like, I actually kind of appreciate it. Where Rory and Amy go like, why do you have a crib for the baby? And the doctor goes, oh, the baby's I'm not. He goes like, it's mine. And they go, huh? The crib, it's mine. Not the baby, the crib. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so he goes upstairs to investigate. He's like, why did they want this baby so much? What's so important about Amy's baby? And then they find out that the baby is part Time Lord. There's only one Time Lord in the universe left.
Oh God, I see where this is going.
And so the doctor's like, how's the baby part Time Lord? And when would it have been conceived? I know I didn't fuck Amy. I made it a mission not to fuck Amy, so I don't know what happened. Apparently, Amy and Rory, on the night of because season 5 ends with them on their honeymoon, and they apparently fucked in the TARDIS. Now, because they fucked in the TARDIS, timely, wibbly stuff, basically Amy got impregnated with the TARDIS's energy, essentially. So it was infused into the seed that made the baby. And so the baby gets kidnapped. There's all a ploy to so the doctor will let his guard down, and the baby gets kidnapped. River Song shows up. And doctor's like, "What? Where were you? You were supposed to be. You should have helped me." She's like, "I couldn't help you. I couldn't help you yet." And she's like, "Why? Why not?" And she's like, "I can't tell you, but listen, this is a whole complicated thing." And then the doctor goes like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And oh my God, River touches the baby's crib, and the doctor goes like, "Oh, okay. Well, now I know everything's gonna be okay." And he goes about his day, and then Amy's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And River comes and says, "Come over here, Amy. I want you to read this for me." And she's like, "I can't read it. It's in Time Lord language." Like, yes, I understand that, but you can read this because you've been time traveling, so you can read this. And it translates. The baby's name is actually River Pond. I mean, River. Dr. River Pond is Amy's baby from the future. So the doctor's wife is Amy's baby, his best friend's baby, who he's known first off, he's known this baby since she was born. Secondly, she's known Amy since she was a child. So this is already weird, basically. Come to find out that Dr. River Song grew up was also because of time wibbly show, because the baby was trained to be an assassin for the doctor later. Come to find out that River actually grew up with Amy and Rory, basically, and she's the reason they even got together to begin with. And I was like, "What are we doing? What's going on?" So, what's crazy is Amy and Rory don't have a reaction to this. The doctor, they know in the future the doctor's going to, at best, make out with their daughter if they're lucky. and they're like, "Oh, that's weird." Anyway, I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?"
This makes me not want to attend the doctor's visits anymore, man. Yeah, so
it's a very weird plot line. Anyway, that said, it's why I'm not enjoying season 6. That's why season 6 is taking me a long time to finish, because I can't get through. It's so hard to watch. But as far as season 5 goes, it's an okay season. I think it's not gonna win people. If you watched all of Tenet, it's not gonna get you. You're not gonna be over Tenet by the time you get to Matt Smith. Like, Matt Smith is not gonna win you over in one season, because what Tenet did with the Doctor was phenomenal. But you know what? Second season, I think he does better. I'd say he's a good Doctor. He's just not my personal favorite right now. And I think the writing gets in his way. But that said, I do recommend at least seeing season 5. It does have its hiccups, but I do think that said, when Amy and Rory are just the Doctor's companions, like once the Doctor gets Amy and Rory together and he lets Rory know, like, hey, listen, I'm not trying to steal your girl. I'm not trying to do that this time. I'm trying to be your bro. I'm trying to have you on adventures with me. The trinity of Amy, Rory, and the Doctor is really fun to watch. Even if I really feel like at some point Amy and Rory should just stop being companions. I feel like realistically, you would not want to travel with this version of the Doctor for long term. But but yeah, Doctor Who season 5, it's cool. It's fine. It's not as good. But so yeah, there you go.
Gotcha. Well, it was an interesting conversation to be talking about the Doctor, man. So it was a mouthful. So anyway, audience, let's move on to the next topic. We still got a couple more books to go to. So The Last Boy, number 1 and 2, audience. I just picked this up on Stan because of the cover that'll come out later on. That I'll talk about next week, right? I was like confused as to what version of Peter Pan's story this is going to be because like this is about Peter Pan first off, audience, but of course there's been so many adaptations of him over the past couple of decades. You gotta have to like think, okay, is this from the early 2000s Peter Pan? Is this from the Pan movie? Is this from the Disney movie? I just think of it as like just the IP of Peter, all right? And if I had to summarize what this story is trying to tell you is that you either grow up or the people around you do, So yeah. What happens in this? It's about Peter Pan, and guess what? Everybody else around him grew up. The Lost Boys all settled down. Wendy and her gang are all back. On at their home. She's actually engaged right now. She's doing good for herself in terms of being an author. She's specifically doing young fantasy books, right? And yeah, her dad is in his final days, and the only thrill he has now is just getting a chance to listen to Wendy tell him her stories. But she's kind of eager to be finishing her latest book before she gets married, and that's upsetting her mom a lot. Peter, though, he's just trying to pass the time now that he's literally it's literally just Peter and Tinkerbell at this point. So he starts noticing that the pirates around the groves, from Captain Hook, yeah, they've been getting a lot of pelts as of late, and which just leads Peter to believe that the pirates must have invaded the indigenous people. So he goes over there. And, first off, here's what Pan looks like. Peter Pan looks like.
Yep, still hasn't aged today.
Exactly.
This was a day past 16.
You'll be a boy forever, man. Okay, but anyway, so he goes to the indigenous people, and like he's like, "Oh, okay." So I've heard Hook must have come in and robbed y'all, and the chief is like, "Actually, no. If you don't mind, the new chief of the tribe will explain to you what happened." And we find that the new chief of the tribe is Tiger Lily. And I kind of like that they kept what's his name, John Darling, I think that was his name. He was with Wendy's group, the kid with the glasses and the black hat. Yeah, I guess he left that to her as like a trinket, and she's wearing that as like with pride. So I thought that was like a nice little touch. But anyway, she goes on to tell Peter, the pirates didn't take anything. Like, no, what this is, we came to an understanding, and we have a little trade agreement going on right now. So things are beneficial for both sides. Uh, Captain Hook is getting money, and Peter and our tribe is remaining unharmed. So all good. And Peter's like, wait a minute. That must mean Captain Hook has something over you all. You're all being controlled by him or blackmailed by him. Don't worry, I'll go save you. So he just immediately goes to Captain Hook's ship. He immediately starts fighting everybody, and then everybody's like, "Wait, Peter, no, come on, dude. We're just trying to earn an honest day's pay, all right? We didn't steal those pelts from that tribe." Like even Captain Hook comes out and is like, "Say, look, Peter, enough is enough, dude. Like, come on, we want to make some money, all right? Like, right now we're in a good gig." But Peter is not listening to any of that. He immediately starts fighting Captain Hook, starts cutting his clothes off, this and that. Like, dude, quit being a butthole. Peter, quit being a butthole here, dude. Like, what the hell? But the fight ends up correlating in Peter actually throwing Captain Hook off the ship, and he gets eaten by the alligator. And audience, I'm not saying like this isn't like a comedic skit where he's running around on water for his life. No, he legitimately gets eaten. Peter gives the biggest what the fuck look, along with the rest of the pirate crew. Like even Captain Hook's his right hand man, that short chubby old guy with the blue and white striped shirt.
That's not fun at all.
Yeah, like Peter, what did you do? What the hell? We were just trying to turn our life around. And you killed our captain. Oh, Peter's like, well, I mean, it's okay. I'll go avenge you guys. I'll go kill that crocodile myself. So, and the pirates are like already taking their swords out. Oh no, this playtime's over, Peter. Like, oh, Peter just runs away. Like, okay, maybe the stuff Captain Hook was telling me might have been true, but yeah, all the more reason why I should go kill this croc. Why I should go beat this croc, Like, dude. He ends up going to get assistance from the Lost Boys, because apparently there's a neighboring kingdom that they all decide to thrive in, and all the Lost Boys are adults at this point. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, Peter, we kind of lost our old wooden swords. I mean, I got a family over here, and yeah, our other lost boy, he already traded in his club for some, for some clothes for the kids, So what the hell? Oh, Peter's still just so eager to get an adventure going on, like, but luckily for him, I guess, the king pops up and he's saying like there is trouble running amok in the kingdom. We have this new entity called the Phantom King who's running around literally destroying everything in his path. And audience, I gotta say, like, the Phantom King looks like he's in the wrong story because he looks so out of place for the story they're telling right now. Let me bring up a picture. Look at that. Does that scream like something you would see in a Peter Pan story?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Probably in like a sequel book.
Nah, kind of looks like something from a anime. Maybe a Final Fantasy here. I mean, he has a literal scythe in his hand, and he has a floating crown.
Scythe is Final Fantasy. That's kind of racist.
Hey, I'm just saying that as a compliment. He looks cool enough to be an anime character. But anyway, so Peter's like, I'll go fight this guy alone. No biggie, no problem. Boy, Peter gets the heck beaten out of him, man. Let me bring up the last panel. Peter actually gets slashed in the chest. I'm bleeding. What the? I'm actually bleeding. Oh my god! Like, you tried going after this mysterious entity with a pocket knife, dude. What did you think was gonna happen? Like, oh.
No, yeah, you have the scene from Naruto when Gaara bleeds, and there's like blood.
Jake, just wait until I talk about the next two issues, but I'll say that for next week because like some pretty good stuff happens in those, man. Like Peter's just so traumatized by this. No one has ever cut me. Like I literally fight pirates on a daily basis with a pocket knife, and that's been doing me good all these years. Like,
it just turns into Puss in Boots last wish.
There you go, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean that's really how this issue ends. I mean, yeah, I'm invested in this story. I'm just a little upset that it's only 5 issues, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So, with that, we can move on, guys. So, Witch.
Oh. Hi. Oh shit! It's already my turn. Okay, I thought I had more time. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. Anyways, I'm talking about The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos, Children of the Night, issue 2, besties.
Sure. Yay. Mm-hmm.
Yay, this is my last book of the night, guys, just letting you know.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we start off with Christopher and Dr. Jekyll chit-chatting, you know, and all this other stuff.
What could go wrong, you know?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like, they haven't really chit-chatted just yet, but hey, Jekyll's like, wow, you've grown so much. Like, assuming that, you know, he might know who Christopher is. And so, like, Christopher's like, wait, you know me? And he's like, well, of course I do. I was there the day you were born. So, duh. And so he pulls out this device, and he's like, though I might admit I wasn't expecting to fight you, per se. I came here looking for my old friend Adam Frankenstein. But, you know, this device happened to lead me to your doorstep instead. Very, very queer, huh?
Yeah.
Christopher's like, can I see that real quick? And Jekyll's like, yeah, go ahead. And so Christopher's like, you know, you were pretty upset when I first answered the door. And Jekyll's like, quite, but it has been a very, very long journey, you know. So triggered one of my fits. You get the idea.
Yeah,
and Christopher's like, oh yeah, I know Adam. And Jekyll's like, oh, thank goodness. Can you point me in the direction? And Christopher's like, okay, this device uses mad science to trace the primordial energy that makes us monsters. What we are. It's called Aether, by the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a metal detector, but for monsters. And he's like, oh, it's been set to locate every potent deposit, which might have been the reason why it led you here. You know, I'll improve this function. It's been all good. And a device like this would be dangerous in the wrong hands, so keep an eye out on it, okay? Gotcha. And so Christopher's like, are you really Dr. Henry Jekyll, like the one from the book? And Jekyll's like, yeah, but it's not the most accurate. So,
okay.
And so Christopher's like, so that medallion, the symbol? And Jekyll's like, oh yeah, this is my place in the Horrorist Society. It's super slay. And so we hear some knocking on the door because he's in the garage. And it's his mom, Christopher's mom. And he's like, Christopher, are you in there? And so basically, Christopher's like, just a sec, Mom, give me a minute. And everything like that. She keeps like insisting. And he's like, please, just fucking wait a second. And she opens the door. She's like, Christopher, did I hear you swear? Why on earth are you sweating like that? It's so unlike you. And this is what he says verbatim. I'm going to read this verbatim, okay? He says, well, you see, I was masturbating. Just, like, trying to, like, make an excuse. Yes, Christopher.
Wait, you repeat what you just said, which?
He was claiming that he was masturbating.
Oh, okay.
Get his mom off his back. That's why he was, like, sweating and all jittery and stuff. You get the idea.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I guess. Why not in the shed? And she's like, well, I'll leave it to you then. Dinner should be ready soon. Remember to wash your hands. And he's like, okay, bye. And she's like, wait a minute. Where'd you get that coat from? It was Jekyll's coat, by the way.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, oh, it's mine? And she's like, really? You haven't changed coats since Halloween 10 years ago. And he's like, I'm getting older, Mom. And she's like, clearly. Well, give it here. That musty thing might need a wash, you know? Where did you find it? A dumpster? And he's like, no, it's vintage. I'll go wash my hands now. Bye, Mom. And he's like, I'm so sorry, Mom. Like, when he closes the door, you know. And then, so we see Jekyll in Christopher's little science area, because he built a whole goddamn science area. Do you think he's smarter than Reed Richards? Yes.
Well, if one of the brains was part of I mean, he has a brain made of other people's brains, right?
No, not Christopher. No, that's Adam. Adam has probably has multiple different brains, but I think it's just the one brain. But it's fine.
Gotcha. One of them's bound to be a genius, so you know.
Yeah. So Jekyll has like a little bit of a fit, you know, with his hand, but it's fine. And so Christopher's like, oh, here's your get Mr. Jekyll, sir. And he's like, oh, just call me Henry. It's fine. You don't have to be so freaking formal, you know? And he's like, oh, a pigeon brought back from the dead? This must have Frankenstein's fingerprints all over it. And Christopher's like, oh, Adam had nothing to do with her. And he's like, not that Frankenstein. You know? And so Christopher's like, oh, well, I gotta go wash my hands, eat dinner, and then do some homework. We can't really stay here. And I really want to know more about you and maybe me as well, because Jekyll is spewing some stuff that we don't know much about. So,
Okay.
you know, we're getting some information that I've been waiting since issue 1 of this book. And so, can you go to the next picture?
Yep. There you go.
So Viv is like, what the actual fuck is this? Christopher Chaos. And he's like, well, this is my new friend. This is Dr. Henry Jekyll, you know, from the book. And, you know, he introduces himself and all that jazz. And so he enters in, you know, and Viv is like, so you mean like the book? And Jekyll's like, yep, that book. But, hey, as I always say, never trust a Scotsman with the truth, and leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's definitely immortal. He's definitely old as shit, just so you know. So Jekyll's like, wow, Vivica, like your home is simply divine, you know, and it's like admiring all the gothic details again, all that other stuff. And you know, she's like, okay, I know I'm eternally adjusting to the fact that the horror classics are nonfiction, but Chaos, have you read the fucking book? And he's like, I mean, everyone knows the concept, right? And she's like, what the fuck do we do when the other half shows up? So Jekyll accidentally drops something, you know? And he's like, oh dear, you know, what another one of my fits. I do apologize, you know? And I've just remembered someone's trying to kill me. Can you go to the next page?
Yep. Did you?
Yeah.
There we go.
This is the guy tracking him.
Yeah.
He's sick as hell.
Heck of a badass design, I gotta say, you know? So.
Yep. Hold on just a second. And so guess who shows up? The Hellwing bitches. Specifically Johannes Hellwing. He's back in action.
Yeah.
And he's like spewing all this stuff, you get the idea. And so the other guy's like, oh, blah 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 blah. And Johannes is like, pardon me? And he's like, listen, bro, I'm on bounty business. I do not give a shit about borders and territory right now. So why don't you just fuck off before this turns ugly? And Johannes is like, wow, how crude. And they start fighting it out. Fight. You get the idea. Shoot.
Yeah.
Their cane, sword, knives, things, and all this other stuff. You get the idea. Maybe a little bit of sexual tension, but you never know. Anyways, so yeah, the hunter guy kind of jetpacks from his boots, and Johannes is like, not my hair, anything but my hair. And so basically, he flies up into the air, gets a freaking chain thing that has a cross on the end, and basically just whacks Johannes with the cross off the chain.
Good lord.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting fight. Like, this guy is easily beating up the Hellwing bitches. Where were you when we needed you most?
There you go.
Sorry, I'm just checking if my phone was charging. It's fine. Anyways, so the hunter guy's like, now how about I let you off easy with whatever accords or dignity you got left? So yeah, get back home to Mama Andreas and suck the tea and give him my best. I'll be off your land soon, motherfuckers. That's verbatim too. So we cut over to Jordy. I just recently learned that's how you pronounce his name. Thank you, Tate, for giving me that information, because I did not know how to pronounce it for the longest time.
Okay.
Anyway, so we see him like hopping on rooftops and everything like that, and he's way too into his own mind, and he almost falls off of one of the buildings. But guess what? Luca shows up and he's like, I got you, bro. You know? And Jordy's like, are you stalking me or something? And Luca's like, look, bro, I think we might have gotten on the wrong foot, off the wrong foot. And Jordy's like, no shit, Luca, the foot came from your with a silver spoon for you and not for me. And Luca jokes about it not being silver, you know,
Okay.
and all this other stuff.
What do
And
you want? 30 pieces? Like, go along with
one's
that
a
silver?
werewolf and one's a vampire. And
Oh, okay, there you
ginger?
go.
You figure out which one's the ginger.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're just like sitting on the roof, on the ledge of the rooftop and everything. And Luca's like, okay, I don't know. You seem like you're pushing yourself too much at the gym, nearly falling off ledges. You seem like you have a death wish, dude. And Jordy's like, can't have a death wish if I'm already dead. And he basically talks about how, like, vampires like him don't last that long, you know? So he's trying to do whatever he can before that time comes. You get the idea. And he's like, oh, and he's like, I need to prove to my parents that I'm their son and not just a fucking burden. You get the idea. And so Luca's trying to like bond with him a little bit, you know, be like, I get it, bro. And Jordy's like, nah, you don't fucking get it, dude. And it's like, I see you and your sister move through the light of fucking day wearing silver bullets around your necks, treating everything like a fucking joke. While I'm stuck here in the night. Like, look, I appreciate the assist here and there, but I ain't looking for no goddamn sidekick. So, we cut to Viv's house. Monster Club meeting, minus Jordy. Yeah, he's not there, obviously. And so Christopher's like, well, hello, guys. I haven't, our society's been missing a mentor for some months now. So, here may I introduce you, Dr. Henry Jekyll, as an honorary member of the Monster Club. And, and Sasha's like, Jekyll, like from the book, and Vivica's like, yes, like the book. And Luca is a himbo, so he doesn't know there was a book. He's like, what book?
Okay.
And so, Jekyll is like introducing himself and everything like that. You get the idea. And then we hear a bang, bang, bang on the door. So they think it's Jordy initially. Can you go to the next page, please? I want you to put the picture of my husband. Yeah,
there you go.
I just want to say he has done nothing wrong in his entire life. I'm just being honest. Anyways,
anybody want to try saying something's wrong with him right to his face? Like, exactly, you know?
You gonna say anything wrong about him to my face? Exactly.
There you go.
So he's like, hello, Christopher, because, he's very formal, I love that for you. And Christopher's like, Adam, like, what are you doing here? And Viv's like, oh, I called him. Like, and he's like, and Christopher's like, Viv, why would you call Adam? You don't even call your own fucking parents. And so Jekyll pulls up. He's like, Adam Frankenstein, my old friend, I've been looking for you. And so Adam picks up Jekyll and is like, leave, Henry, never return. And Jekyll's like, but I'm better now. It's been 13 years since my last episode. I fucking swear it. And so, Christopher's like, put him down. And Adam's like, he's pissed off. He's like, it is not your hides I distrust, Jekyll. It is you. You will leave and stay out of these children's lives or else. So, yeah, multiple hide. Like, hide plural. What does that mean? I don't fucking know what that means, bestie. Like, shit. Anyways, so the twins are like, oh, best monster club in months and everything like that. And so Jekyll's like, no, put me down before like something bad happens. You know how it would be. And Christopher's like, listen to him, put him down. And Adam's like, you do not know this man. You do not know his history. And in this monster club, we do not lie or betray or abandon our own. And so Jekyll, who is turning into his Hyde form, one of them, is like, please, Adam, I don't want to change. And Christopher's like getting pissed off. He's like, he's my mentor now, not you, which is like, oh my God, dude, oh my God. And Adam's like, where is he then? Let me see him. Perhaps Bloody Jack will have more reason. Or Edward. Give me fucking Edward. And so Christopher's like, Adam Frankenstein, can you like go to the next page, please?
Oh, did you hold on a sec? There's only
restaurant.
okay. Yep, right here.
And he's
There you
like,
go.
stop! And a whole bunch of energy comes out and everything like that. So there has been some damage to the household, obviously. And so they're like, oh shit. They go, no, Christopher, you know how it would be. And so Jekyll goes to Christopher's aid, and and Christopher's like, what just happened? Like, and he keeps apologizing and everything. And Jekyll's like, I know how you feel, like it's okay, and everything like that. So we cut over to Jordy stopping someone who's probably going to jump, But don't worry, it doesn't happen. Because guess what? Jordy's here to help out because he's Dracula boy, okay? Like, so yay. Anyways, the next issue comes out on August 27th. So literally the 2 days before Tucson Comic-Con. So and we also have like a little side story over here, which I'm just gonna briefly go over. It's called Monsters in Love. It's basically like a couple pages of just like a side story, that they're doing for this book. And so basically this is about a girl who's in love with a mad scientist and their creation, okay, who is also his girlfriend, okay? And so he's like, oh my god, I'm in love with both of them, I don't know what to do, like the main girl. And the guy's like, oh, I got it, I'm building you a boyfriend, okay? And so that's what he does, okay? And you think that it's gonna end well, right?
Right.
No, bestie, it doesn't work out well. And she's like, I hate this guy. He keeps flirting with other girls and everything, and I fucking hate it. And she's like, I'm in love with you two. I don't want to date this nerd. And guess what?
How dare we all thought this was going to end well, right, audience?
Well, it actually does end well because they both reciprocate her feelings, and they're the ultimate power throuple.
Hey.
Yay! Anyway, that's the end of my book. Like I said, Adam has done nothing wrong in his entire life. And literally after that scene where Christopher like absorbs all that power, literally his hair goes falls down from his butt.
Oh wow.
Because I put 2 hair ties in my hair when I did Adam. So that's all.
Look at that. Look at that, audience. Yeah. No, it sounded like a good one, So
it's not very chaotic, to be honest.
Oh yeah, he's very chaotic. I mean, he might be a Frankenstein, really.
Well, what I'm thinking, maybe we can somehow control that chaos. Like chaos control, if you will.
I see what you did there. Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
You know what? Maybe we can learn all about it in Sonic and DC crossover. This is issue 3 cover. I think it's a variant or something, but it looks cool, so I'm using it. Okay. People who don't know, this cover is a reference to Sonic Adventure 2, which, if you really want to know what this is supposed to look like, take Flash and Batman out of it and put Sonic and Shadow close together, and that's supposed to be what it looks like. Basically, it's like the same thing. Okay. Yeah, but whatever. I honestly, I think Batman and Flash ruined it, but it is what it is. So, this is the final battle. This is the day the Justice League died. Okay, this is Sonic and his friends reunite with the Justice League, and they're gonna fight them some Darkseid. All right.
Okay.
Fight them some Darkseid. And I gotta say, 5 issues in, I'm kind of like, whatever. I kind of didn't care.
Could Sonic outrun the Omega Beam audience? You gotta ask yourself that.
When this book started, Ian Flynn was. Oh, they did outrun the Omega Beam. I forgot to. They did that very early. They already did that.
Okay.
When this book started, it was. I don't know what I expected. I don't think I had expectations. I think it was more like, what are the cool, crazy things we can do with Sonic meeting the Justice League? How does the Justice League react to Sonic's world? How does Sonic react to the Justice League's world? And you get that. I just think it's like, maybe instead of a gourmet meal, you were given like fast food at, McDonald's. That's what this book has been.
Wow.
I gotta feel the same way here. I think, ironically, out of all the crossover characters, I don't think a lot of them have really good chemistry. It kind of highlights some of the weaknesses Sonic's had lately. When it's Tails and Cyborg you know they're just gonna say some smart shit. You know?
Yeah.
Batman and Shadow barely talk. Superman and Knuckles have nothing to say. I don't know why they're paired up. They apparently have anything interesting worth talking about. And Amy and Wonder Woman, they're girls. I guess.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's the only thing they have in common. Wow.
Well, they're girls and they fight for love. And so
okay. I see what they could.
But that doesn't come into play. Like, there's never a moment where like Amy saves the day because of her love, and they're like, "Wow, Amy, you're like Wonder Woman where you're from." You know what I mean? Like, you never it's go like that, and vice versa. Wonder Woman does either. Like, they don't play on the themes of each character well. I get Superman and Knuckles like, well, Knuckles is the last Echidna, and Superman is the last son of Krypton. So you know. Like that never gets brought up, and even the Maria thing with Shadow gets played up, but it's not really like it's kind of it shouldn't be, but it feels forced.
Yeah,
but I think the standouts by far is Sonic and the fucking Flash.
of course.
I don't think there's not a single issue where these two aren't making me chuckle or laugh, and I think it's fun because their relationship is just shit talking each other.
Yeah.
but it's in a fun way. Like they're in on the joke. There's no animosity between them. Like there's a moment where they come back and Flash is like, "Yo, Sonic, I ran to your villains." Oh yeah, what happened? Yeah, it was like Zavok. You know that guy? Yeah. I fought him before. What happened with him? Well, you know, like so my villain was there, and he had the conch controlling them, and I took it, and then I took the Chaos Emerald, and Zavok wanted to fight me. He's like, "Zavok wanted to fight you, man? What'd you do to him?" I was like, "Well, I asked him. I was like, well, do you have super speed?" And he said no. And so I just ran away. And Sonic was like, "Yo, dap me up, dog. That's fun. That's funny. Like, I was like, okay. Like, I like this little cute meet between Sonic and Flash where they're just being bros. I think that was pretty fun. And so you know, they go fight Darkseid and everything. And you know, we're not even gonna go into it. Super Sonic. And Super Sonic fights Darkseid. He headbutts Darkseid in the face. Could Super Sonic beat Darkseid on his own? I don't know. Could Darkseid beat Super Sonic? I don't know. I think that's my other thing too. Usually Super Sonic fights are cool when it's just Super Sonic and one other person versus the main villain. At best 3. But I think a whole team fighting with Super Sonic kind of makes it feel like Super Sonic doesn't matter. That's kind of been my issue. But now, Super Sonic gave them the power they needed, but I don't know. But you know, they do beat Super Sonic. They do beat Darkseid. I guess I'm just kind of like, I just kind of don't care.
Okay.
But you should know the way this book ends. There was going to be a crisis on 2 worlds. Okay, and the worlds are going to collide and explode into each other. So Tails and the gang, they come up with a plan and they undo the events of the crossover so they never happened. Isn't that fun? So you went through the whole crossover. Even though nothing of consequence happened in the crossover, they undid the crossover. and so Tails is like,
they're telling me readers just wasted their money on a book that never happened.
It never happened, but the characters remember it happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sonic and so Tails like, yeah. So Amy, don't worry about it. Like Amy's like, so like what happened to Justice League? Well, don't worry about it. They went back to their world because Cyborg and I reset events so that chronologically nothing happened, but we remember it because we were there. And Amy's like, okay, it's a sure. And Amy's like, well, you know, Sonic, that was a crazy adventure, and you know, it was really cool meeting Wonder Woman, and I learned nothing new about myself in doing so. But you know, I wish we could see him again. And so I was like, yeah, that's cool, Amy. I'm glad you went through that whole non-character arc over there. Tails, good work, guys. Another good day for the Sonic heroes. And he like goes off and he stares into the sunset. He's like, but damn, I wish I could just race the Flash one more time. Because we never figured out who was the real fastest thing alive. And maybe one day we will. and so I think that was the other thing. The only takeaway thing I have from this is like, just cut the DC characters and just have Sonic and Flash and make that an annual crossover. And I'd have some fun with that. That would be fun to do.
from the fan after all, DC, you know?
Yeah. But we do have a post-credit scene because it's a superhero story now. So we have to do that. So we're in Metropolis, and Lex Luthor is like, "Damn, the DC heroes are back. That sucks. You know, now I gotta go back to fighting Superman every day. That's lame." And then a voice comes in. He's like, "Well, what if you had a little help?" And it's Dr. Eggman, baby. That's right. Dr. Eggman is teaming up with Lex Luthor to cause some problems, and it literally ends on a to be continued. So,
okay. Well,
my only problem is this Lex Luthor is fucking stupid. So I don't really know. Like, this Lex thought kryptonite worked on an echidna because he wore a Superman costume. And it wasn't even kryptonite, it was a chaos emerald. So he's like really dumb.
Once again, audience, Jake is looking to challenge the logic of one of the smartest people in comics.
Well, listen, I'm not arguing with Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. I'm arguing with this dumb motherfucker. That's
again, one of the smartest people in comics, audience. You know?
Yeah, not in this universe, not in this timeline. So, but I think Austin brought this up. I don't know if I agree. I think I agree, but I don't know if we agree. I don't know what level of agreement we're at here. He said that it doesn't make any sense for Eggman to team up with Lex because Eggman doesn't play nice with others. I think Eggman will, to a fault. I think Eggman's obviously would betray Lex, and Lex would obviously betray Eggman. I think I just think that Eggman would just work with Lex to just get what he needs out of the relationship and then betray him because he wants the world. And I could buy that relationship. I don't really find it interesting. I mean, Eggman has to go crazy. I feel like for the next DC crossover, we gotta be a little more focused. I don't think we don't do this bouncing between world shit. I just need a story, like a character-driven story, and it doesn't have to be the entire Justice League together. Maybe get like 3 members of the League and like 3 members of the Sonic cast, and like just have them Shadow. Like, well, I don't know. Just cut Shadow, Silver, and Knuckles out. Just have Sonic, Tails, and Amy, Cyborg, Superman, and Cyborg, Flash, and Wonder Woman. I need to do that. I think that'll be better. I think this is the worst Ian Flynn book I've read, which is sad because Ian Flynn is one of the best Sonic writers we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can I say? It's a book. If you want the novelty of Sonic interacting with DC, I say just read it for Sonic and the Flash alone. I think that's enough. That's enough. It's fun.
That's a collision everybody's just been wanting that at the end of the day.
And it delivers. I like how they're just friends, but they like talking shit to each other. That's fun. I like that. Yeah. Usually when people are as fast as Sonic in the games, they're always like assholes. Like when Sonic met Jet and they did the hoverboard, that like Jet was just bullying him or trying to bully him or trying to cheat him or some shit. Shadow's just Shadow. But it was nice that like Sonic found someone who loved running as much as he did, who was as fast as he is, and he was a good sport about it. And if Sonic wanted to have an attitude with him, Flash would snap right back. I think that's just fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
More of that, please. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So, we can go to the next one. The last one.
All right. The last one. Go ahead, Jake. It's you, man.
Yeah. So last week I promised that I would come back to Bionicle, but I need a break from the book, so I would go to the Project Matanui Rising. I believe that's what they're called. You know what? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go.
Yeah, Project Matanui Rising, I believe, but I want to get their actual name. I'm professional as usual, I know. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's Project Matanui Rising, I believe. Yeah, that's their channel. And so they have been trying, because if you guys remember, I told you guys before, there were three Bionicle movies. Well, there's 4, but there were 3 Bionicle movies back in the day. And people liked all 3. Like, kids who watched it, including myself, liked all 3. And so when they did the badass trailer for the Toa Ignika, everyone was assuming, oh, we're gonna get a movie about the Toa Ignika because you already put a lot of money into the getting the band, getting the commercial, getting the cool toys. Like we thought there was gonna be a movie, and it never came out. And so the goal of Project Matanui Rising was to tell the story of the next 3 books, which was the Toa Ignika saga, the Toa Marhi saga, and the Battle for Power saga. And this is known as the Ignition Trilogy. And so Project Matanui Rising, they did the first one, which was the Island of Doom, which I'm currently reviewing. I'm just taking a break because it's not interesting as much as I want it to be. And they did the Toa Marhi stuff. Now, when they did this, it was a smaller team, and the voice acting wasn't great, but it was cool retelling of the story, and I would only recommend it to a Bionicle fan, right?
Okay.
But they said years ago that they were going to do the Battle for Power saga, but it was not going to be like what they did before. This time, they're going to have a team of like 100 different people working on this from around the fucking world, but it's ambitious as fuck. And keep in mind, this is a stop motion project. This is gonna take a while.
Oh dang!
But I was scrolling through, and the first episode actually came out. So I said, okay, I'll watch it. My God, this was peak. Okay, for the animation alone, for the art of start motion, there is a scene where Makuta Atraz, or I think that's how I pronounce his name, Atraz or whatever. I always forget. I had his toy. And it's the opening scene of the book. Atraz drops down on the ground. You would think this was playing in theaters, bro. The way they played this, you would think this is a theater-made movie. Okay? The way the camera work works, like it's stop motion, but it looks so fluid. Like it just, you can tell it's stop motion, but it's fluid as hell. And it looks so cinematic and good. And the voice acting is so much better. And the VFX is just so fucking good. I couldn't stop watching, and I had to stop watching because, like, damn, I need to go back and watch the older movies because I want to get to this last. I want to get to this when all the episodes come out, which will take a while unless they're doing these weekly. I hope they're just gonna keep churning these out. But holy shit, I recommend look up Project Matanui, and even if you know nothing about Bionicle, just watch the first episode of Battle for Power because it's a work of fucking art, and I highly recommend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that said, it's really good. I have to go back and watch the Island of Doom saga, which probably won't be. Well, no, maybe it'll be fun because now I know the book. I think it'll be fun in that sense. And I'll review that. And then I'll go to the Toa Marhi stuff. If I will say this, if the stop motion movie is basically just a book one for one, or even if it's just some small details, I would just use that to finish the book, and I'll go to the Toa Marhi because I'm just not enjoying the book that much. But yeah. That said, I think that's everything. That's my that's your weekly dose of Bionicle. So.
Yeah, amazing, Jake. The one night where we didn't have to end at 12 o'clock on the dot is the one night we actually end early.
Yeah, I was like, is there any way I could make this up to you guys by stretching it out? But I cannot do that.
Yeah.
So,
well, audience, thank you for joining us, man. You know, so
I guess we'll just keep living and learning.
Exactly.
Yeah, good night, guys.
All right, audience.